Yo, that's my brother from Quebec. How are you, man? What's up in Quebec? What's up? So, technically, atheists up there, I don't know. So I'm trying to be a little quiet to be respectful to their patrons, right? What's up? It's good, people. What's going on in the world today? I had like a 6-hour nap, so fantastic. I don't know if you can call 6 hours a nap. Hi, Rory. What's up, man? Really, the Salati. What's up, Rory? What's going on, man? So, who's still in here? Lamba or Rory? Sorry, I'm just a bit busy and slightly distracted. Scott's here. Good morning, brother. How are you? Or good afternoon now, I guess.
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Scott? I can't hear your audio.
I'm sitting outside.
Try now. Try to speak.
What's going on?
Your audio's not coming through, man. Your microphone is not. So there's an issue with your microphone, Scott. I can't hear you. Try refreshing your page. Try pressing F5.
Let me see.
Oh, A5.
How's that? You hear me now? You hear me now?
Hey, Valiant Custom Cleaning. What's going on? That's a pretty strong name, Valiant Custom Cleaning. I like the name. It's a valiant name. How are you today? Scott.
What's going on?
know what's going on with your audio, man.
What's going on? I don't know what's up. Can you hear me? It's odd. Can you hear anything I'm saying? Yeah, it's not working. It won't work. Yeah, it's not going to work.
All right, can everyone hear me? Oh, no one's here anymore. Try again. Just gonna try again. Maybe I need another link. All right, try this one. All right, so absurd. I'm trying to start a discussion. So, discussion is on atheism, and that atheism is fundamentally flawed. Atheism has no position, has no epistemology, is logically absurd, scientifically impossible, and just fails colossally at every single turn. That's atheism is just circular absurdity on the face of it. That's the discussion that I'm trying to get going here, that atheism is circular absurdity. And I think people know it. I just think some people have a hard time acknowledging the foolishness of atheism because, well, remember the Bible says that the wisdom of the world is first of all sensual. So, and by sensual, what it means is the wisdom of the world will appeal to your senses. So, it means it'll appeal to what you can see, what you can hear, we can taste, we can touch. So, sight. So we can hear, see, taste, touch. What's the other one? Well, we're rainbow buckets. I have to start with a premise. So atheism feels, oh yeah, morally too. So atheism has no grounding for morality, epistemology, logic, and it can't explain anything. It's just absurd. Okay. Yeah, you have to. What's your Twitter handle, Valiant? And then I can give you a DM for. Or actually, better yet, I got an idea. You can say that, but you'd be wrong. No, you're not. You're just being a fool, Rainbow Buckets. I can prove to you that that Jesus Christ is actually solid epistemology. And that atheism has no foundation. Yeah, but I'm not a religion. You're just, see, thing is, Rainbow, if we're going to have this discussion, you got to be able to listen. I know you're not listening. You're just listening so you can give an knee-jerk reaction, which isn't listening. That's just childish foolishness. So atheism is unprovable because you can't know that there's a God. The only way you could know that there is a God is to be all places at all times, from eternity to the present and to eternity. And so basically, the only way you can know that there is no God is to be God yourself. Like that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Still not going through, Scott.
Yeah, it's not going to work, dude. I don't know what's the matter with it. Everything on my phone is on, just like it's been. For some reason, it's blocked. My mic is on. Everything is on. Nothing's off. You hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. So I figure it seems to work if my mic is plugged halfway in. I don't know why that is, but
yeah, I don't know. But like I said, on my end, everything is the same. So
okay. So valiant effort. You go to Twitter. I put a link there should be a link for StreamYard on my page if you want to join. Oops. Yeah.
You talking to me?
No, there's a guy in the chat that wants to join the discussion.
Oh.
So Valiant or whoever, if you want to join the discussion live stream with Scott and I, just go to my Twitter page, which is @RobLovesJC, and then click on the link. Just click on the link. You see a link for StreamYard on my page at Rob Loves JC. All you have to do is click on that link and you can join. Okay. Well, it's up to you. Make, bake, and then come in. Oh, Yeshua is... I can't see the subtitle. Yeshua is his name? Okay, I like it. All right, thanks, Valiant. All right, so... Oh, private chat. His audio is coming through. It might be on your end. Oh, Theo. Okay, yeah, I think it was actually. So I had a wonderful 5 or 6 hour nap, if I can even call that a nap. I slept from 8 until about 2 p.m. Man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going either chapel service or kickboxing this morning, but my body's like, "You're not going anywhere, buddy."
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I'm just gonna. This is my Twitter for. Guy in the box here. So that's my Twitter. That's my Twitter. Valiant Rob Loves JC. So that's that. So yeah, I've had a really restful day. So I obviously I must have needed it if I slept for 5-6 hours, right?
Yeah. I would say.
So I'm at the age Scott, where I try to listen to what my body tells me to do. Otherwise, I really pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody should do that. It's kind of a given.
Yeah, but common sense ain't so common, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Are you going to watch the debate live on Saturday morning, by the way? With me and Arvin?
I doubt it.
That's
only because I'm usually outside most of the good chunk of the day.
Well,
I'm
that's
always
good. That's
moving. So
yeah, I'm outside a good chunk of the day too. Someone said to me that the other day, Peter said that if you have some notoriety on Twitter and YouTube and you get some traction, because on Twitter I have about 4,000 followers and 4,000 or so that I follow, not exact numbers, but roughly. So I roughly, approximately, I follow 4,000 and approximately 4,000 people follow my account.
Yeah.
Which is quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
And then and on YouTube, since about November of last year, I have 42,000 views on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so maybe about 41, because I had about 1,000 before by November. So still, over 40,000 views on my YouTube channel since November, and at other people's channels, there's over 16,000 views of a telephone video hangout I did with R and Raw in January. Yeah. Over 60,000. So that was that's the biggest thing I've done in terms of single views. It's not on my channel.
Yeah.
And then
I don't do any of that
Jackson
stuff.
Wheat that got. Yeah, and then Jackson Wheat did a debate with him. I think it got about 1,000. And I think the debate that I did with Steve, the first debate I did with Steve McCrae back in January, got about 2,000. So between all of the stuff I've done, it's probably around 60,000 views between everyone else's channel and my own.
Yeah.
Since then, which is quite a bit. Scott, are you an atheist? Scott.
No.
Valiant wants to know if you're an atheist.
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, probably because of the title, I said it's apologetics and atheism. But we're apologists, so it can be one or the other. It doesn't have to be both and at the same time. Scott is a born-again follower of Jesus. Are you not, Scott?
Yes.
And that's good to know. That's good to know for other people, I should say, because I've known that for a while. So Scott and I are brother and sister in the Lord. So we're brothers in the Lord. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Scott is not an atheist. And so Arvin will be, obviously, I'm going to take him to the Pinners again on Saturday. Like theologically and biblically, theologically and biblically, he's already done. He's already lost before he started.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, for me now, it's just a matter of making sure I don't get caught up in like his nonsense again. And it's true. I let his nonsense get the best of my emotions a little bit at sometimes the last debate, but like he was trying to use Romans 11 for a proof text that we can lose our salvation. He was trying to use Romans 11 as a proof text for you can lose your salvation. When Romans 11 has nothing, when the text he was using had to do with like the Jews are the older brother and we're the grafted in vines.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with losing your salvation.
No, but I think the problem lies where people assume that, this is my opinion, people assume they get saved and then they're always saved no matter what they do.
I know.
And that's false.
We're not saved because of what we do. We're saved because of what Jesus has done.
No, but my point being is, as I said, they're under the oppression because they've been saved. But then no matter what they do, they won't be punished. You know, it's kind of like,
but Scott, you can be punished and still be saved. Like God can punish me for my sin in salvation.
No, hear me out. It's kind of like it's like a mafia boss, right? He goes out and gets born again, but he's still running the family, right? And
it takes
he
time.
does what?
But you know it takes time for fruit to grow, right, Scott?
Hear me out. The point is, if you're in the mafia, you're killing people. In the Ten Commandments, it says, "Thou shalt not kill." Right?
Right.
We can all agree on that. So my point being is, somebody can be born again, and somebody can live a life that is not what the Lord says. So if you're continuing to live that life, you're not going to be saved.
Then you don't have true repentance.
But that's my whole point. So you got.
But salvation and unto godliness leads to repentance, Scott. That's my point. So a truly born again person will repent.
If somebody truly repents. But the point is,
then they're saved.
You got people out there today.
But what you're talking about isn't someone who loses their salvation, Scott. You're talking about someone who thinks they're saved and not, a false convert. That's not the same thing.
No, the point is you have people like you have the gays online who say they're
gays
followers.
Are obviously saved.
But my point being is, it's a perfect example because you have them online saying they're followers. They go to church. They do their thing.
Yeah.
I got a friend.
I can say I'm from Mars doesn't mean anything, right? There has to be some follow up.
Yeah, I think you're missing the point. The point is,
I don't think I am. I think you're missing mine.
The point is, it's like I got a friend up north. Goes to church every Sunday. Does, whatever. But the point is, he's doing things that are an abomination to the Lord. So you go to church on Sunday, you leave, you're immediately going back to.
But going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than sitting in the garage makes you a car.
That's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making at all. The point I'm making is you have people who go, get born again, baptized, however you want to phrase it. The point is, they leave that area, they're living the life. They never changed, is my point. So therefore, they can't claim to be saved if they're not changing their life. So therefore, you're going to church, you're doing that. When you die, you're still going to pay the price for your sin. It's as simple as that. There's no two ways around it. There's no, well, they're not really. There's none of that. It's either you do or you don't. That's the way it is. It's either you do it or you don't.
But Yeshua decides. Yeshua decides, not us.
But
Yeshua is a gatekeeper. We're not the gatekeeper. Neither is
I understand that. But the point being is, you can't.
Sure you do.
It's no different than Catholics praying to pagan goddesses.
Yeah, but the thing is, Scott,
church-going people. They're regular church-going people.
Scott, hear me. Scott, hold on a second. Hear me out. A truly born-again person will not live in sin for the rest of their lives. There will be fruit that bears witness to righteousness if you're truly born again. So you can't be truly born again and live a life of sin. It doesn't work because salvation. Okay, Scott, just listen to me. Salvation in the Holy Spirit will produce good fruit that bears repentance and good works. This is not debatable.
I'm not debating that.
Okay,
I'm not debating that. That's
no, but I'm saying someone. Okay, but listen, we can claim to be born again and are self-deceived and still in sin and have nothing to do with God, but live as though a somewhat virtuous life of going to church, feeding the poor, and so on. So there's virtue in those things, but they don't save.
I think the thing is you have a lot of people out there in the world today who believe that they are.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they are.
They carry on their life as though nothing has changed. And that's the bottom line at the end of the day. So, and I've spoken to these people.
That's what they have to work out between them and.
I agree. But the point is, if you point it out, right, which I do,
they get angry.
I'll point it out, and they'll come back at me and tell me, oh, I'm saved. And I'll say, well, you're living a life that's an abomination, right? So you can't be living a life that's an abomination and then be saved. It doesn't work that way. You can't have it both ways.
I agree.
So
I totally
you have to do one.
Saying the same thing differently. That's all. Matt.
Yeah, but I still think that.
Matt, welcome to the stream, brother.
Thank you.
This is kind of like one of my random streams. So you're this is the first time you've been on my stream. So welcome.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. All right, there we go. I had the YouTube going and this going at the same time, so I couldn't hear.
I hear you, man. So where do you stand positionally, ideologically?
Well, I'm a Christian, so which is
okay. That's
kind of a bummer because we got 3 Christians here. We need some atheists here.
I know. So Scott, since this is your first time, why don't you just give us like your little bio, like where you're from and your and how you came to know the Lord, like the Cole's notes. Matt,
that would take too long to explain.
Matt, sorry. I remember that those questions were meant for you, Matt.
Oh, all right, sounds good. Yeah, okay. So you probably don't remember me, but I went to Redeemer.
Matt, what's your last name?
Yeah, Bookma.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I remember you, Redeemer.
Are you related to Joe?
No. There's a bunch of Bookmas over there. But,
yeah, exactly. So that's why I thought maybe there's a connection. Yeah. Well, I mean, like you got a familiar looking face, but you know, I've seen thousands of faces since.
I went to Redeemer. That's why.
Yeah, right. I haven't been to Redeemer for 11 years, man. So, cut me some slack, brother.
Right. That's true for me too. We were there like almost together. I think you're probably a couple years older than me, or a couple years ahead of me, or 1 year ahead of me, or something.
I started winter of January of 2009.
Oh, okay. So maybe I was in first year when you were in fourth year or something like that. I started in 2010. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I was 2010. because I graduated high school.
And it was my last year there was 2013. So
yeah.
So
anyway,
so Matt, what are you up to these days, brother?
Yeah, well, I have a cleaning company. Yeah, I probably shouldn't actually have like my business, like especially if we talk about.
Oh, that's what you're the Valiant Buster dude.
Yeah, I am Valiant Custom Cleaning. It's my cleaning company. That's why I got like a D-line.
Nice. I like as soon as I saw the name, I'm like, man, I like that the name. That's a strong name.
Yeah, like I'm gonna create like a logo with a bust of a horse.
Nice. Oh, someone's asking you if there was the atheist, or is this an echo chamber? Well, atheists are, John. The atheists are allowed to come. They haven't. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is kind of an echo chamber, but I don't know. We could talk to John through the comments.
It's not intentional. Yeah.
So,
yeah, John. Like, if you want to challenge us.
Okay, but why?
Oh, someone earlier was. Who is this? I was trying to scroll up in the comment section because someone was saying that. Here it is.
So why can't I read the chat on this SteamYard? I guess I'm going to
be able to. You should. You actually, yeah. You can go to YouTube. YouTube should have it up too.
Yeah, motherfucker. All right, let's go.
All right. So okay,
earlier. Okay, Scott. To give you a bit of context, earlier I was saying that that atheism is fundamentally flawed. It flaws morally, logically, epistemologically, and in every single way, and it has no position or leg to stand on. And that's why this Rainbow Buckets guy was saying in response to this comment you see on the screen. It says, if an atheist says religion is fundamentally flawed or a standstill. Well, no, not really, because see, the thing is, as a Christian and a theist, we can give good reasons for why we believe that Jesus is our strong foundation and the only, actually Jesus, I would go as far as to say, and this is a strong, bold claim, that Jesus is the only epistemology that works for anything. I mean, I know Matt will agree with me on that, but because he gives us the source to ground our lives in. And atheism, what is atheism grounded in? Nothing. It's circular absurdity. That's what atheism is, and it's scientifically impossible. It's
okay. So can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
okay.
ahead.
So my challenge with like this style is that like if I were an atheist, it doesn't like resonate with me. Like if I were an atheist,
but but the thing is, I'm only setting up the premise. I haven't yet steelman my argument.
Yeah. Okay.
You good?
Yeah. No. I'm good.
Okay. So and then I'll attack it one by one. So morally, the atheist can't say anything morally because, again, by what standard is the atheist grounding their morality in? Society, their own upbringing, like all this is subjective, right? So, for example, let me give you a good way to steelman the morality argument. If you and I disagree fundamentally on say certain moral issues, like say abortion, for example, and I say that abortion is always morally wrong. You say, well, abortion is not always morally wrong, and with the exception, like say, for example, that unborn child may be the life of the mother. And so then the question becomes, well, how do we decide which morality is the true one, yours or mine? And by what standard do we ground that in? And this is where atheism doesn't have the answer, because it's just like, well, there is nothing. There's like Matt isn't wrong and Rob isn't right. And Rob isn't wrong and Matt isn't right. It's just your opinion, your perspective on the matter, because you can't use humans as the standard for morality when humans often have contrary and subjective moral values, which we obviously do, especially in a planet of about 8 billion people. We have tons of contrary morality, and we see that evident in the world today. So, and then the question is, okay, well, we know that there has to be a standard to ground morality in. And that morality can't be human because it colossally fails because it's just subjective. So for morality to be objective, there has to be a non-human source for morality grounded in. And that person or being we call God. So morality on the face of it proves that God exists, first of all, and God gives us a standard of morality because he is himself morally perfect. So that's the basis of the moral argument. An atheist can't really rationally come against that in any sensible way without shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak.
Okay, so what if an atheist just says morality doesn't exist?
Well, that's how can you have there's no sense in that though, because everyone knows that morality does exist. Like if I tell you that I'm gonna rob a bank and rape a woman, you're gonna tell me that that's not wrong. Like that's nonsensical.
Well, that's what a lot of atheists argue. A lot of atheists say that it simply doesn't exist, and
yeah, but nobody believes that though. That's just a nonsensical thing to say.
I do agree with you. Nobody actually believes that, because instinctively when they see something's wrong, so what I usually say, it's like when somebody says, okay, so emotivism is kind of the philosophical idea that all moral utterances is actually expressions of feeling, right? Well, if I say murder is bad, what I'm really trying to say is I don't like murder, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't like murder doesn't make your position right or wrong. It's just perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what I was saying. That's the only thing that the atheist can say. It's in my perspective, murder is wrong, but I can't objectively say that murder is wrong. But the thing is, that murder is objectively wrong, so you're just being silly to yourself.
Okay, so here's the question, and I'm playing devil's advocate because I think we
go for it. I appreciate it.
How do we know?
How do we know what?
That murder is wrong.
Because it takes life. I would say that taking his life as reduction of the species would be a bad thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know, but like I don't think I think right there, I think you're just assuming it's wrong. But my question is, how do we know it's wrong? Like, okay, so because an atheist could say the same thing. An atheist, it's wrong because it's reducing the species or whatever. It's wrong.
But actually, the atheist would go. You should go the other way because natural selection is just weeding out the weak, right? That's actually a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess they would come back and say that, natural selection really works if there's a group of people with some kind of moral code that helps them flourish over against other sorts of threats, right? Like,
exactly.
So like it's a very naturalistic explanation for morality.
Yeah.
Right.
Like for example, obviously, just hypothetically speaking, if I punched Matt in the face unprovoked, where right now when we're in the same building, I know Matt's not going to react well to that because his sense of justice is like, hey, wait a second, I didn't do anything to deserve getting punched in the face. I'm going to defend myself. And he's legally justified to do so. And actually, not just legally, but biblically, Matt would be justified biblically and legally to defend himself physically from me assaulting him unprovoked. Because that's morally wrong. And Matt knows that it's morally wrong. I know it's morally wrong. And there's no way around it.
Yeah. So
even for the atheist, for any atheist, if I punched any atheist in the face unprovoked, hypothetically speaking, there's no way that an atheist is going to say, you know what? It's okay. In my opinion, it's okay. Like, no one thinks like this.
Right.
And in your opinion, is going to change the objective as soon as you get punched in the face unprovoked, because morally it's wrong to punch and assault someone in the face unprovoked 10 times out of 10, every single time. You know that.
Right.
Everybody knows.
So if I were an atheist, I guess I'd still be wondering, like, okay, so how do we know? rather than
Well, I
just
mean,
assuming.
you have common sense, you have logic, you have reason, you have a sense of justice, and the sense of justice dictates and informs you of what is right and what is wrong every single time.
So
Where's your sense
okay,
of justice?
yeah, I agree with everything you're saying, and for me, it's about phrasing it in a way that, and then how I would go about answering this question is like, look, we have different faculties. You know, we can
Oh,
think.
for sure, yeah.
We can think. We could see. So we have perception. Okay, so my response to an atheist would be like, just like we have a perception as one faculty of our minds, and just like we can think, it could be we just have another faculty, a moral faculty in our minds, just like we have a perception as a faculty, right?
Yeah, but
and that's
epistemology. But if you're an atheist, you continue to play devil's advocate. If you're an atheist, how do you justify your morality? What are you grounded in? Like, it's just it seems purely subjective to me. And if it's subjective, you can even say it's wrong on the face of it.
So if I were an atheist, I would agree with you. I'd be like, yeah, it's an expression of feeling. It's ultimately an expression of what people want. That's what I think an atheist would have to say.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you can't even objectively say that it's wrong for me to punch you in the face.
Well, I could. I could if I'm more powerful than you.
Okay,
right?
but my point is, but my saying is, philosophically, you cannot be consistent as an atheist and tell me that it's objectively wrong for me to punch you in the face. That's philosophically inconsistent.
I know, but if I were an atheist, okay, being inconsistent is actually not a moral problem because I don't believe that morality really exists, right? So
yeah, but again, then we're back to square one. No one really believes that.
Well, I don't know. I think there's lots of atheists who do believe it. I think Putin believes it. I think, I really think these powerful people, I think people don't believe in morality and they think they're a bunch of chumps. And they think that because they're more powerful than us, right? Really? So it's Nietzsche's will to power. So a logically consistent atheist, a logically consistent atheist would be like, yeah, morality does exist and it's whatever I think it is. So, like, I don't agree with that, but if I were an atheist, that's how I go about it. So.
Right. But the thing is, like, if you say there is no objective, or there is no morality, you have to use some sort of sense of right and wrong, and ironically morality, to rule out morality, which is circular absurdity. Like, in the face of it, it's just self-defeating.
Well, it is absurd, right? But this breed of atheist, this nihilistic atheist, okay, the Nietzschean Ubersmuch, Superman, whatever you want to call it, like, it is absurd. That's why the whole atheist existential movement is about life being absurd and stuff like that, right? The scary thing is that there's a lot of young people. A lot of people. Sorry.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't think they're trying to say it's not absurd anymore. I think they're they're okay with the absurdity of it.
Yeah. Well, this type of atheism is. I think the kind of atheism that you want to challenge is kind of a humanistic atheism, because humanism kind of thinks there is objective morality.
The thing is, yeah. But the thing is, actually, the word agnostic. I don't know if you saw. I don't know how often you are or see me on Twitter, but if you actually, the word agnostic, you break it down from the Greek, because in the Greek means without or no, and gnosis comes from the Greek, means knowledge. So agnostic from the Greek actually means no knowledge. Actually, that's where, and more, if you break down further epistemologically, agnostic is where we get from the Greek to the Latin the word ignoramus. So it's kind of ironic because from the Latin rendering of the word agnostic means ignoramus, or an exceedingly ignorant person who knows nothing.
Well, Socrates called himself.
So it's kind of funny.
Ignoramus, it's.
Yeah. mean, I wouldn't call it. I would never call. I would never call an agnostic an ignoramus because there, there's wisdom, right? There's no, and the conversation wouldn't go anywhere. But, but I mean,
is there like any atheists on YouTube that would want to? Well, I guess not right now because nobody's in the chat, But it'd be fun to have some atheists sometime and have a discussion with some atheists,
Well, I have a debate with an atheist on Modern Day Debate channel in May 11 on 8 p.m. His name is London Storm. That's his. Well, that's not his name. That's his display name on Twitter.
Right. So it's pretty easy. Is it easy for you to find?
Yeah. Debate? I debated two agnostics in January. One was on is atheism epistemologically stupid? That was like a 2-hour debate. And then I debated young Earth creation versus macroevolution the next day against another agnostic. That was a 2-hour debate. And then last week, Thursday, I debated a Catholic on is one saved, always saved. And this coming Saturday, I'm debating the same guy on is sola scriptura true. On the 29th of this month, I'm debating Trent Horn, who's the top dog Catholic apologist on is Mary the Mother of God.
Oh, he's a Catholic.
Yeah. And I'm debating that London Storm guy on Modern Day Debate channel, which is the biggest platform for debates on the internet. Well, that would be cool. And then the title of that will be Does God Exist? And then June 3rd, I'm debating Kem Regic, who is an atheist, on atheism versus theism, 4 points of contention, which is logic, epistemology, morality, and design. That'll be a 2-hour debate, June 3rd, 10 a.m. to...
Debates are long, 2 hours, man. I'm surprised that people talk. Well, I guess conversations go that long.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you get
money on YouTube, like how many views, can you make money? Like, is it like 2 cents for every 1,000 views, or how does that work?
No. I think usually for YouTube, I think it's your channel has to be viewed for 4,000 hours or 1 million views.
To make how much money for 1 million views?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. How nearly that much? I'm at like 42,000, man. I'm like fraction of the way.
It'd be fun. It would be fun to take on I don't know the.
But
cosmic
I think you can
skeptic.
make it. Yeah.
Just say, hey, let's talk to the cosmic skeptic.
I would totally would.
Because everybody likes them.
I would take him.
I like.
I mean, I know Frank.
Right.
Yeah, Andrew. Like that's the thing is you like in two. I find like Kem is a nice guy in London. London and Kem are actually pretty chill guys. Steve was pretty good, but Steve is like really gifted. Steve McRae, he's the first guy I debated back in January. He's an agnostic, but Steve is rhetorically like if you don't know your rhetoric, Steve will just throw you around like fodder.
You have a video of Steve? Or where's Steve? What's his YouTube channel?
Steve McRae at Steve _ McRae. McRae is MCRAE.
What's his? Well, that's his Twitter. What's his YouTube?
It's called his channel is Non Sequitur.
Oh, Non Sequitur. Okay,
that's his channel. Debate channel. Yeah, Non Sequitur is his channel. Yeah.
The Non Sequitur Show. Is that it?
Yeah.
Sunday Fun Day with Non Sequitur.
If you were to if you type in just on YouTube search, is atheism epistemologically stupid? You'll see my debate with him at the top.
Okay, is modern day atheism stupid? Is that?
No, is atheism epistemologically stupid? Not modern day. Just say atheism is atheism epistemologically stupid.
All right, I'm gonna look.
My debate with Steve will.
Okay, I can find it on your channel then. All right, I think I gotta go because I gotta go to work, or I gotta do some work. So
Yeah, sure. Oh, people still work? What?
Yeah, we don't just talk about philosophy
yeah,
all day or theology or the Bible.
Oh, I see how it is, Matt. I see how it is. Oh yeah.
No, I do enjoy this kind of stuff. You know, like I think about it and I read about it like every day.
Yeah.
But I don't really have an outlet. I guess I go to church, but I don't know. I think something like this could be fun. Maybe I should start a channel.
Yeah. If you were to type, by the way, if you were to type a believer's opinion of atheism, R and Raw, that one got the single most views of any thing I've done on YouTube.
Right.
It's got nearly 17,000 views since January of 26 of this year.
But you need 1 million to make some money. How much money do you? I guess you don't know how much money you make if you get 1 million.
I haven't made any money on YouTube yet.
Yeah, is that the goal?
Or it's one of the goals, but I'm also developing a curriculum for apologetics, intro, intermediate, and advanced level, and I'm writing a book on apologetics. Hopefully, to get it to the marketplace and sometime in May or June. It's going to be like in the major ones like Amazon, Kindle. It'll be an ebook.
So, okay, I got a question for you. Okay, so your style of debate, okay, when you talk about like grounding morality or grounding logic and stuff like this, how would you describe that style of apologetics?
Presuppositional.
Yeah, okay. You know, the presuppositional, this is just my opinion. The presuppositional apologetics is like, you know, Greg Bahnsen and, you know, that sort of, it's within Cornelius Van Til, like the Reformed tradition. Okay, but the broader philosophical tradition has the same style, same kind of arguments, and they do it like a lot better than I think these presuppositional apologetics did it. Right? So the kind of arguments.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of go.
So I would describe them as transcendental arguments. Okay, a transcendental argument is one in where one belief depends on another belief. So if you believe in one belief,
right,
you have to believe in this. Right?
Right, I understand. Yeah.
For example, if I believe it's raining outside, I have to believe that water exists. Right? Like, So I wouldn't really call it like presuppositional. Like, I don't know. To me, it's more like
the problem with presuppositional apologetics is that you can get thrown around because like of that particular problem. So, for example, if I believe that Jesus rose from the dead, for the sake of argument, then I have to believe that all miracles at all times must be possible, and that's really kind of sorry. Let me put this another way. If I believe that Jesus has risen from the dead, then I have to believe that there's a possibility that zombies exist.
Well, it is possible. Okay.
Yeah.
It's logically possible, but there's no evidence for it.
Exactly. But the thing is what I'm saying is like the problem is because I have to allow for the possibilities of zombies existing, then my opponent can make me look like a fool. Oh, you believe that so you think that Breaking Bad or these zombie movies and shows are real? It's like, you know what I'm saying, right? I've seen people go down this road, Matt. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then they're mistaken because anything. Okay, there's a difference between like logical impossibility and like physical impossibility. So it's perfectly logically possible aliens could exist, or zombies could exist on another planet, or we're making a zombie somewhere in somebody's basement. Like it's logically possible, right? But no evidence.
But if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I can say it's medically impossible that Jesus rose from the dead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so our belief in Jesus rose, and this is the key thing about Christianity is that you have to believe in revelation. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So like there's no other art. Like I can't prove that this happened, but it ultimately depends on revelation.
There's monumental historical evidence for Jesus rising from the dead.
Yeah, but I don't need any of that evidence for me to rationally believe it. And my argument for that.
The thing is, like, for the atheist, the rational is where the argument's going to be, though.
Well, okay. So where the arguments is going to get challenging for us is when we talk about the Bible stuff. Okay, because the atheist doesn't believe in revelation, so we got to talk about.
They don't believe in the Bible at all. So like that's for them.
So that's why I would never argue with atheists about Jesus Christ.
The thing is, like, for most of us, that us quoting the Bible would be like for the atheist quoting Origin of Species. It just doesn't mean anything to us.
Sure. Okay. So if I were speaking to an atheist, I would simply, I guess I would do what you do. I would talk about the basic stuff. Like, okay, do you believe immorality exists? Okay, I'd go down that route. But then I would also do a cosmological argument. I'd be like, okay, well, I'd make it really simple. Obviously, stuff didn't come out of existence from nothing, because it came from.
But they'll say we never. They'll say they usually say we don't. I think that either. We just don't know how things came into existence.
Okay, I didn't catch what you said there. You broke up.
No, they'll say that we don't think that either. We just, unlike you, we just don't know. Nothing came into existence.
Okay, but that's the thing. Then that means they believe something could have created it, right? So let's forget about God.
They usually try to break the law of the excluded middle, which means this is true in this situation, but it's not true in this situation or this situation. So, for example, they'll say that logical fallacy would be like, we don't know how life existed, but we know that God didn't do it. But you can't know that you can't. But that breaks the law of non-contradiction. Like both things can be equally true at the same time.
Well, we know that something must have caused it to be, right? Like.
But they'll say, how do we know? But how do we don't know? But the thing is, like, they basically say, the thing is, but again, it goes back to circular absurdity, right? We know that we don't know how the whole thing started. We have the knowledge that we don't know.
I'm not arguing about how it started. I'm just saying something must have started it, right? So something must have started it.
Yeah, because exactly. All causes have it. Because we know that logically all causes have effects.
Exactly. So there's a principle of sufficient reason. So there's a reason for the universe, and that's the cause, right? So is there a first cause? So as soon as you get the atheist to accept that there's some kind of a first cause, that makes our job a lot easier, because then we can speculate. Then we can speculate. Okay, well, what is the nature of this first cause? Well, whatever it is, it must be pretty freaking powerful to cause everything else. All right. So then we have one aspect of, right? So and then
you've been watching some Turk, haven't you, buddy?
I don't think I watched anything. I think I actually study philosophy. I study philosophy.
Do you ever did you take philosophy in Redeemer?
I took philosophy and theology, but I went to the University of Nottingham in England. I studied philosophical theology. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I was going to say, because your arguments are reminiscent of that of Frank Turek.
Well, I don't know. Well, I think I do know who you're talking about, but my arguments are just they're typical arguments. Like, it could be any philosopher. Like, this is Aristotelian philosophy, right? Like, first cause sort of stuff, right? First cause of thinking, so it's not really connected to this guy.
I hear you.
So, anyway, I gotta get going.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Yeah, if you ever want to do coffee sometime, we should do that. If you're in Hamilton, I don't know if you are.
Yeah, no, I'm in Niagara, but yeah, we can do something. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Right. Bye, see you.